My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. There's this piece of hair that I don't even know where it belongs. Over here? All right, friends, hello. This is it, my VIB sale recommendations video. And we all hopefully know by now that when I say recommendations, I don't mean my recommendations for which expensive products to buy simply because they are on sale. I mean my recommendations for how to survive the sale without overspending, without spending anything at all if you're on a no-buy, and without spending more than you want to be spending if you aren't on a no-buy, because for some reason sales just trick us into doing that, don't they? I have already filmed several videos of this kind. I've filmed a video, I think, every time there's been a VIB sale since the beginning of my channel, so that's been 2. No, there was a third. Wasn't there a third random surprise Sephora sale last year? If you've clicked on this video specifically because you want moral support for getting through the sale, I really recommend watching the other videos of this nature that I've made, because I try not to make them too repetitive, and so that means that I feel like the best, the most concentrated advice is like in the first one, because then I got it all out, and then every time since then I've been sort of rehashing and rephrasing and updating the materials of these kinds of videos, but I think that they are to kind of be viewed as like a unit or a series. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a specific dedicated playlist, a sale survival playlist. I'm gonna put them all in the playlist in order, and that way I'll link the playlist right now in the card. So the little eye that's floating here in the corner of the screen, it will scroll across. If you click on it now, you can like open that in another window, and then you can watch the playlist after you're finished watching this video if you want to. In this video, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to address those of you who are on no buys. I'm going to give my advice for getting through the sale if you're struggling with the sale, but you're actually on a no buy right now. So that'll be first. Then I'm going to talk about low buys, no buys, budgets, etc. My advice for getting through the sale, even if you're not actually on a shopping ban, but you are allowing yourself to buy makeup and you're trying to budget. That actually to me is harder. Like, it's even harder to get through a sale like this when you have a budget for makeup, or you're allowing yourself to buy makeup but you're trying not to go overboard. Sales really encourage us to go overboard. So I'm going to talk about that for a little while. And then lastly, I am going to tell you my plans for the sale. Am I planning to buy anything? Make sure you watch all the way through to the end to find out. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. All right, my no-buy friends, this is for you. If you are on a no-buy right now, my advice is incredibly simple. In the tradition of no-buys, because no-buys, if you write your rules clearly, they simplify things. They tend to simplify everything for you. And I'm just here to remind you of that simplicity. Do not break your no-buy for this stupid sale. Not worth it. 100% not worth it. Hashtag not worth it. The opposite of worth it. It's the opposite of being worth it because of this. The point of a no-buy is to experience things like the Sephora sale and to feel what it's like not to give in to the temptation to buy something on sale during this sale. And then to learn, not just with your brain, but with the rest of your brain, the deep corners of your brain and in your tummy, in your gut, to learn with your whole body that the world won't end and that you are actually capable of making it through the sale without making a purchase, and that it's okay. A no-buy wouldn't be worth it if it were easy. A no-buy wouldn't be a no-buy if there were no sales that you had to make it through. Like, this is what your no-buy has been waiting for. These are the times that try our no-buys souls, and it's good, it's healthy. So if you are struggling, so it's exciting. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's exciting. I'm excited for you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. You are about to pass through one of the main portals, one of the rites of passage of a makeup no-buy, which is the Sephora sale, getting through it without buying anything. And that's my sort of more subtle, my kind of like second phase advice for you if you're on a no-buy and you are worried that the sale is gonna try you too hard. I encourage you to reframe what is about to happen in your mind. So you're thinking, I think a lot of us are thinking right now, the Sephora sale is right around the corner. Am I gonna do it? It's like a thing that you either do or you don't do. It's like, am I gonna be in? Am I gonna be part of it? And so you feel like you're either gonna be part of it or you're gonna be not part of it because you're on a no buy. Wah, wah, wah. I encourage you to reframe that and think of this. Think about skipping the Sephora sale as the thing that's about to happen. You and a bunch of other people who are also on no buys are all going to do this awesome thing together. This rite of passage, this action that will change you, that will kind of define your future going forward. And that thing, that action, that choice, that behavior is not buying anything at the Sephora sale. So you're about to have an important life experience. It's a not to be missed life experience. It's something to cross off your bucket list. So get excited. It's right around the corner. Your chance to skip the Sephora sale is coming up. It is what a no buy is all about, and it's gonna be amazing. If you are not on a no buy, it's a little bit less clear. I think you can still do what I just suggested. If you're just on a budget or something, or if you're just trying to cut down on your spending, but you're not on a strict no buy, you can still hop on that train too. You can still cross that item off your bucket list. You can still participate in this life transforming project of skipping the Sephora sale. You don't have to grapple with it just because you're not on a no buy. So if you're on a budget or if you're on a low buy, that's my first advice. The advice for the people on no buys is actually kind of the same. Like, don't let the sale cause you to temporarily call off your plans, the way in which you've been running your life. Don't let the sale push you off the rails. And if that means deciding to join in with the group of people who are not shopping the sale, then go for it. It's great. As someone who did it all last year, I can tell you, it's a party of its very own. However, my main advice for those of you who are on low buys or budgets is this. And I've said this before, but I'm gonna try to say it in a little bit of a new way in this video. Don't buy anything on sale that you weren't already actually planning to buy. Now, for some of you, this might mean buying your staple skincare items during the sale. If you're on a no buy, staple skincare items are not a good reason to break your no buy. Forget this. If you're on a no buy, like, no, don't buy anything at the sale. Don't buy anything outside of your rules. But if you're not on a no buy, I've heard from a lot of people that they kind of wait and buy all of their staple skincare items during the sale. So as long as the staple items that you're buying truly fall into the category of things that you were definitely planning to buy, as long as you know that you can be sure about that, then I understand why it might work for you. I personally am not a fan of buying backups. It doesn't work for me. I've found historically that buying backups doesn't keep me from spending that same amount of money in the future. It doesn't, I mean, I guess the idea of backups is that you spend a little bit less money now so that you don't have to spend more money in the future, but it just never works out that way for me. I buy all the stuff now, which means spending a lot of money. Even if you get a discount, you have to spend a lot of money at a sale to save any significant amount of money. Like, in order to save $30, you have to spend $150. So it's like, it's just, if I buy a bunch of backups all at once, I spend a lot of money. And then the rush dies down, time goes by, and the desire to spend money comes back. And the fact that I have those backups sitting there doesn't keep me from spending money. I mean, now my life's a little different, but this is how it used to always be, when I would sort of trick myself into adding more things into my cart during the sale because they're my favorite skincare items and they're on sale, so it's now or never, blah, blah, blah. It just never worked out that way for me. I know that some people who have a lot of control, who know themselves really well, who have skincare routines that never change, that never evolve. That's not me. My skincare routine is usually evolving somewhat. You guys out there who know yourselves and are like more mature than I, For you, it might make sense to stock up on some stuff during the sale. So I don't argue with that. I don't think that that's like a bad choice if it works for you. If it works for you, i.e. bottles of backups aren't piling up in your cabinet unused while you go and buy and try other new things. If that's what's happening to you, stop buying backups. So don't buy anything that you weren't already planning to buy. That could also mean a treat. Many of us buy ourselves treats from time to time. I'm not on a no-buy anymore. I am on a budget now. And so I occasionally buy myself new makeup, even though I already have enough makeup. I buy new makeup as a treat for myself using the money that's in my budget. And I'm not against that. I haven't stopped doing that. That's why I budget. I budget so that I can treat myself occasionally. I spend a large portion of my budget on sort of replacements, necessities, new sneakers when my old ones run out, etc. But I always spend a portion of my budget on treats here and there. And the point of the budget is to make sure that it stays kind of within reason, and that when I buy a treat, I'm making sure that I want it more than all of the other treats that would be using that same amount of money, because there's a finite amount that I'm allowing myself to spend on treats. So I'm here for treats. And if there's a treat that you know that you were gonna buy yourself, then if you happen to buy it during the sale, you can get a couple of dollars off. And I'm not against that. My trepidation about the sale is that I know firsthand how easily and how consistently sales have in the past tricked me into buying extra treats. Treats that I wasn't planning on buying myself, and things that I honestly wouldn't have bought if they had been priced at the sale price when they weren't on sale. There are so many cases in the past where I've bought things during a sale that I wouldn't have bought if the sale price were the actual price. That's what I'm trying to say. It was just the fact that it was on sale and the fact that I was focusing on how much I was saving instead of how much I was spending tricked me into buying treat upon treat upon treat, well outside the confines of what my budget should at the time have been. So let me give an example, like an abstract example. Say there's a $28 lipstick that I was attracted to, but I had always been like, I had never really considered buying it because $28 seemed like too high a price for me for that thing. Even if I kind of wanted it, I had just been like, no, Hannah, that's not in my wheelhouse. That's not the price that I'm comfortable with for that lipstick. So say it goes on sale, say I'm VIB and I have 15% off. That means the lipstick goes on sale for $23 and then most of another dollar. So essentially $24. During the sale, it's $4 off. In this scenario, if I'm honest with myself, even if the lipstick had been priced at $24, I wouldn't have, not on sale, like if that were its original price, I still would have felt the same way. I would have been like, that's not quite in my wheelhouse. That's a little bit much. That's still like around the $25 mark. And the $25 mark and the $28 mark are so close together, right? That's like, it's just a couple of dollars here and there. It's like just moving the little slider a couple of dollars, but it's still high-end prices. It's still an expensive lipstick. And if those couple of dollars, if those $4 are so crucial to my financial well-being, then what am I doing buying such an expensive lipstick, sale or no sale? But in this scenario, I'm not honest with myself. The sale is on, I'm excited, I'm joining the party, I'm putting a bunch of stuff in my cart because it's now or never. And the fact that it's on sale, and this is, I remember this so well from before my no-buy year, the sale kind of would give me permission to live a little, to impulsively buy things that aren't my usual fare and that aren't in my usual price range. It's exciting. It feels like a sanctioned weekend off from being smart with money. The sale makes it feel like overspending, which is something that we are working so hard not to do all the rest of the year, is suddenly not naughty for one weekend only. It's not naughty to overspend. That's what the sale makes it feel like. But that is a trick. It is naughty. Or rather, it's unwise. It is as unwise as it ever is. If something is not in my price range at full price, it's still not in my price range during the sale. Even if I have 20% off, even if I were getting more like $6 off that lipstick, it's it's still the same price range, well over $20 on a lipstick, but less than $30. It's still that, whether or not it's on sale. And in order, I think I said this already, but in order to make that discount meaningful, you have to buy so many things. You have to spend so much money. Say I wanted to get like $40 off. So that means I have to spend $180. And the amount that I'm saving is so totally eclipsed by the amount that I'm spending. And if I wouldn't normally be spending that amount, if that's not in my budget, it's totally idiotic to spend that amount during the sale just to save $40, because you're not really saving money. You're spending money if you're buying stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily buy, if you're allowing yourself to live a little or to feel like that's what you're doing. It just doesn't make sense to focus on trying to drive up the amount that you're saving, right? The percent off. Because in order to do that, you spend and spend and spend, and you keep spending. The percent off doesn't mean anything to Sephora. It's not a present for you. They don't care. They're trying to get you to spend more money. And overspending during the sale is just as bad as overspending all during the rest of the year. The fact that it's a sale doesn't change the game. In fact, the fact that it's a sale is the game. Sephora is trying to win the game, pulling out the big guns and trying to get you to overspend. But you can win the game. You can resist the big guns. All you have to do is not buy anything, not a single thing during the sale that you weren't already planning on buying. So let's talk about my plans regarding the Sephora sale. Will I practice what I preach? Yes, very much so, actually. And it's sort of circumstantial. It's really interesting. I didn't really know what I was going to do during the sale. And as it has approached over the past couple of weeks, I learned what I was going to do, what I am going to do. I'm actually filming this on Friday. It's the Friday before it will post. It's Wednesday today on the day that it's posting, and then I think the sale is this weekend. I'm not exactly sure which day it starts, but I know that it's very, very soon. It might even be tomorrow. So I've had a Sephora cart open on my desktop for a while. I don't always have a Sephora cart open on my desktop. In fact, I haven't really since the beginning of my budget year. But recently I became aware, I say recently, but I really mean like over the past maybe month and a half, like for the past, the cart hasn't been open on my desktop for the past month and a half, but for the past month or so, I've been thinking about making a purchase from Sephora. And I've done a lot of research. I've gotten a lot of samples. I have sampled the things that I want to buy a lot. Like I've gotten little sample pots and I tested the shade range. One of the things is a concealer. I had a couple of different colors. I had a bunch of different concealers. I have like gone the extra mile to make sure that I want to buy these things. I have been on the hunt for a concealer that is much, much more natural and skin-like than Shape Tape, which is what I've been using for years. I'm looking for like a liquid concealer for brightening the planes of my face, brightening my under eyes. So I went to Sephora a couple of times over the past couple months and I swatched like all the concealers in the store. And I want something that's lighter than my skin tone because I want it to be brightening. And I don't know how well you can tell on camera here, but I'm very, very pale in real life. So I had like swatches all up and down my arms, and there were almost no concealers in Sephora that are lighter than my skin tone that will actually be brightening on me. There are a number that are kind of my exact skin tone, but that's not the product I was looking for. I was looking for very, very skin-like, almost undetectable on the skin, like you can't see that you're wearing makeup even when you get up close, serum-y, brightening, and that I wouldn't have to set with a powder because I don't like powdering my very dry skin. So those were my requirements. After a long search, I narrowed it down and I found one that I really love. It is the Makeup Forever HD concealer, the newish one. I think it's kind of pretty new. And the shade range goes very, very light. In fact, and I can't even believe this, the lightest color is not the one I decided on. I decided on the second lightest color. The lightest one definitely worked for me, but it made me look a little more made up just because of the contrast of the lightness to the rest of my face. The second color, I think it's called Pearl, is absolutely perfect for me, and it's very, very skin-like and serum-y, and I don't have to set it with a powder. So I have had a sample pot of this concealer twice, and every time I've gone through it, and then when I've used up the entire sample pot, I've been like, where's that concealer? And I've like opened my drawer looking for it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't actually own it yet. I just own a sample. So I'm sure that it's the one for me, and it's absolutely worth the money. It's something like $30. It's expensive, but it's worth it for me. The other product is a true treat, a true bit of excess in my little luxury loving life, and that is a Bobbi Brown lip product. I have been so entranced by the Bobbi Brown crushed lip color, and I talked about this at length in like every video lately. What were they? So the video about what I bought with my Sephora gift cards that I just posted pretty recently, and then also in my lipstick declutter. I swatched both the mini deluxe sample size that I have of Bobbi Brown crushed lipstick in Babe. Yes, the mini sample size is Babe, and then the one I bought is Bear. I've been tempted to buy another one in another color. I'm really tempted by Telluride, but that isn't the one that we're discussing now. It's a different formula. It's the crushed liquid formula. I saw Emily Noel's video called like the lip product that's doing it all, where she swatches the entire collection and she raves about this formula, and she talks about how nourishing it is. It is a liquid, but it's not too shiny, and it dries down really well, and it sinks into the lips, and it's very pigmented, and it's very tenacious and nourishing. The one I'm entranced by is called Haute Cocoa. It's a brown, and the Bobbi Brown lip colors in crushed, there isn't really a brown. There isn't really like that delicious sort of nude chocolate color that is similar actually to what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing a ColourPop lippy right now, so it's totally different, but it's this kind of color that I wanted in that Bobbi Brown lipstick formula, and it doesn't come in a color like this. But Haute Cocoa in the crushed liquid, anyway, Haute Cocoa is the exact color. And so I've just been fixated on getting this Bobbi Brown lipstick for months. And it too, I have sampled. I got a little sample pot, they scraped a bunch of it in there. I applied it with my fingers day after day after day. I used up every last scrap of it, and I love the way it wears. I love how tenacious it is. I love the color, I love the formula. And I've been getting really into Bobbi Brown lip products lately, and I enjoy the idea of having another one to add, another precious jewel to add. So these are the two products that have been in my cart. And I've just kind of been waiting and waiting until I felt like the day had come. I think I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything else I wanted to buy, because if there was anything else that I wanted to buy from Sephora with my budget this month, I would have wanted to add it into that order so that I could order them all at once and reduce packaging and shipping and waste. I got to the point last week where I was like, I'm sure it's just going to be these two things this month. My cart was $54, and I was like, that's enough. Like that's all I want to spend of my budget on makeup this month. So I looked at the calendar, and the sale was 10 days away. And you know when you buy something during the sale, even if you're Rouge, it takes forever to ship because it's taking them a long time to fulfill orders because everybody and their mother is like buying stuff from Sephora at that time. So I was like, if I wait for the sale, I'll save $9. I'll save $9, and it'll be like 2 weeks before my order ships. And then if it's fast enough, it'll get there pretty soon. Like if it's normal, if it's not over a weekend or something, if Rouge shipping functions as it's supposed to, it'll be like more than 2 weeks. I was sitting there, I've been planning to buy this stuff for months. I was finally ready. I was excited. It's exciting when I decide that I'm really gonna spend my budget. It takes a long time to decide, and then when I really decide and I really kind of sit there and I've actually decided, it's so exciting. I'm like, it's time. I'm ready to buy this stuff. I've budgeted for it. I've earned it kind of in my own little world, in the way that I move my money around and save and work and trade time for stuff and trade energy for stuff. I've earned it, and I've decided that it's worth my blood, sweat, and tears. So I was sitting there and I was like, I'm so excited. I've earned this stuff and I've made the decision. I'm ready. And if I wait for the sale, I'll save $9 and I'll have to wait 2 weeks. Now, $9 is nothing to sneeze at. It is almost 5% of my $200 monthly budget. And that's meaningful to me. It's not like $9 doesn't mean anything in the world of my spending. But I was ready to buy those products in the middle of last week, and they are worth $54 to me. It's the amount I've been planning to spend. It's the amount that I decided to spend. It's the amount at which they are priced. So partway through last week, I told myself, you're ready to buy these things. The exciting day has come. What are you waiting for? You know that you're not going to add anything else to the cart. You know that this is what it's going to be. You know that this is the cart you're going to be checking out with. You know you're ready. And if you buy the stuff now, then you can just skip the sale. And when I realized that, when I thought of that, when I was like, I'm off the hook, when I realized that I could just let myself off the hook for having anything to do with the sale, by doing the thing that I was already planning to do, which was just going ahead and buying those two things, I was so relieved and I was so excited. So I bought them. I bought them last week. They shipped right away. They arrived in 2 days. They're already here. I'm wearing the concealer right now, and I'm skipping the effing sale. So that is it. I love shopping on my own schedule and not on Sephora's schedule. I love only buying the things that I really want to buy and not letting Sephora trick me into buying extra stuff that I don't really want to spend my money on and that I don't want in my life. And I hope that this video was somewhat helpful in helping you guys find your paths as this sale approaches. If you're on a no-buy, please don't break your no-buy. You will feel so amazing after you get through the sale, and you will feel so rotten if you break it. If you are on a budget or a low buy, let me know down below what you are planning to do. What is your approach? I'm looking forward to chatting with all of you guys down there. And maybe in this comment section down below this video, we can kind of support each other and be there for each other and encourage each other to be our best selves with regards to what we want to bring into our homes and what we want to spend during the next couple of weeks and during the madness that is the Sephora VIB sale. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.